Welcome back to another episode of the world famous Nando Thoughts Podcast, broadcast live from Washington, D.C. Are you ready to do this 2024?
Yo, GG, turn it up.
2024, a new year, new you, hopefully. I'm ready for it all. Big things coming to the show, so I hope you're ready for that as well. Nando Thought Podcast, the world famous podcast, broadcast live from Washington, D.C., sometimes in San Diego, and of course, that North Kakalaki. Thanks for checking me out once again. Thanks to all the people that's been checking me out on my TikTok, my Instagram, my X, my website, and wherever else you can find my information about this podcast. Thank you so much for checking it out. I really appreciate you guys, man. We got so much to talk about tonight, so yeah, do what you do, man. If it is what it is. I don't know what it is. If you get you a drink, get you a drink. If you want to smoke, whatever you do when you do what you do and you enjoy your podcast, I want you to be getting that spot, because we're gonna cover a few things, and then after that, you know what it is. I'm up out of here, man. Thanks for checking me out. And let me tell you what the liquor is tonight, because you know I'm always with a bottle. Let me tell you what the liquor is tonight. So check this out. Out of Indiana. Yeah, it's the real deal, y'all. Out of Indiana. Heaven's Door. Go get you something, man. A 10-year age whiskey. A dry, straight rye. Man, let me tell you something. I don't know what you're drinking, but if you get a chance to put your hands on one of these bottles, you better grab it, man. This is some of the finest whiskey. Out of Indiana, by the way. So what's up to those folks up in Indiana for, yeah, they got them one. That's for sure. Heaven's Door. About the closest I'm gonna ever get to heaven. In the doors, you know what I'm saying? Thanks for checking me out, guys. Let's go, man. Let's get deep into it, man. We got a couple of things I want to cover, and then I'm gonna go ahead and push off and go catch some basketball. So I appreciate you guys tuning in, checking out my show. But we got a whole lot going down in 2024, so I want you to follow me and watch this thing blow. It's getting ready to go. Yeah, we focusing on nothing but DC, breaking exclusive situations in DC, and that's what we're doing. So if you get a chance to watch my podcast, check my TikToks out, follow me, because we're going to be doing some exclusive, explosive, just content. It's going to be amazing. It's not nothing going to be exploding, but it's going to be explosive as far as, just how the information is falling. We ain't blowing up no shit over here. That's not what we do. Hey, man, so let's start the podcast, man. But again, welcome to 2024, the first show of the year for us, the Nando Thoughts Podcast. You can find us on all platforms, and we appreciate you for checking us out.
To correct some of the things that are really wrong, and there are things that are wrong, you'd admit it. I do, because I see the truth, I hear some of my own material on television, and they won't let me do it, but still another guy can go on the show and do it. It's really funny, And then they get the young black comics, and they twist their minds, and they talk about watermelon and rolling their eyes. It's just young Stephen Fetchits and Mantan Moreland's repeat, that's all. But I won't go that direction. I turned down 2 major roles in a Broadway show this year, 2 important roles in a Broadway show, 1 role in a movie. It would have made a difference to me, but I just couldn't accept the part that they offered me, It was really going back before Civil War days, and Shuffle and Dish Air and That There. I talk bad enough already. I don't need to put it on film, Not for money, It's one of those things.
It's one of those things. That is the late, great Red Fox. And that was him speaking on the state of the industry while he was coming through and coming up, going through some of the same things that Cat Williams has just recently explained that he's going through. Back even then, the late, great, legendary Red Fox, one of the comedians I actually happened to had a chance to meet. And when I say meet, it was one of those situations when I met Red Fox when he was going through a tax issue in Las Vegas, and I happened to be in town on some business because I was in the boxing industry at the time, and I met Red Fox, and we became friends. He was a nice guy. He talked about just old school stuff. You know how old school cats talk to young dudes. He's always telling you a damn old ass story. So that's what it was for me. I didn't know the historically relevance of who he was at the time because I was a young dude back then. And he was just going through some tax stuff. And I remember meeting him in Las Vegas, and we kicked it for a few times. And the next thing you know, he invited me to his house. We played cards, we drank and smoked, the whole deal. Just had a good time. But he was always a cool dude, always on, always popping, always telling stories. He didn't seem like he was worried about anything. He seemed like he was at his best when he was at his worst. He seemed like he was one of those type of guys. And I don't consider him that I don't know if we had a friendship or we was just cool. It was a brief moment. It wasn't like it was, years and years and years. I think it was like a summertime type of thing where I ended up being in Vegas that summer. I met the dude and we was cool. I remember telling some of my folks, my peers at my age at the time, I met this guy. They was like, who? Because like I said, he wasn't, I was much younger at the time when I met him, and I was maybe 21, 22 years old. But I do remember clearly that he was just a cool ass dude. And maybe because I wasn't somebody he considered that was trying to do the business, be in the business, or get in the business type of thing, that he, popped any business game on me, because we didn't talk about being a comedian at all. He was just being regular around me. But I do remember him talking about working in Las Vegas and how he thought it was always something he can do. And he thought Vegas, I always have Vegas. That's what he always say. I always got Vegas. I could do anything in Vegas. And so I think Vegas was his safe spot where he figured he can make money and he can just stay there and grind or whatever it was he was doing. Because like I said, I didn't understand what was really going on with no career shit at all. I was just a young dude kicking it with Red Fox, and I knew he was a comedian that cuss. I remember having to hear him when I was a kid on record players, because they wouldn't play it like on radio and stuff like that. But I do remember some of my relatives, older relatives, had record players and records rather. And they had Flip Wilson and it was just so many of them. Paul Mooney was one of the comedians we heard a lot of. But it was a lot of these comedians I would hear just this dirty type of talking in a comedic way. And I really didn't understand it because, like I said, I was younger, so the older folks was like laughing and having a good time because there was social issues being discussed that I had no idea what was going on. But when I had a chance to meet that guy, the great legend Red Fox, I thought it was just interesting that our paths would cross, for one. And then it was perfect for me because I am a diehard comedy fan. I'm the kind of guy that if I go on a road, I will go to a comedy store on Tuesday night and just sit there and chill and just check comics out and just watch them go through whatever they're going through, flaming out on the stage, whatever it is. Sit back in the cut, drink me a drink, and just kind of just slide out and going back and chill wherever I'm going. But I will always like to go to different comedy stores. So I spent a lot of time at this comedy store in Hollywood. I spent a lot of time at the Ha Ha, Factory, or Ha Ha Cafe rather, in West Hollywood. The Laugh Factory, different places. But I also went to showrooms in different cities, Atlantic City, Vegas, of course. All the little other places where they have comedy shows, and DC, from Hollywood to up and down the coast. I catch shows, and I would catch them on random times. I could probably be in town on some business, and I probably just say, hey, I want to go chill and just check some comedy out. So over the years, I kind of got to know some of these comics, not necessarily, like I said, friends again. I wouldn't call them friends, but I kind of just got to know them from seeing them and saying, what's up? Not really having no deep conversations, no we could call me later type bullshit. No, just say what's up type of thing. And I do remember meeting Cat Williams. And Cat Williams was one of those guys he was just on the swivel. He stayed on the swivel for some reason. He didn't seem like he was chill at all. He didn't seem like he was comfortable. He seemed like he had a lot of anxiety with him, and maybe rightfully so. Maybe that was the vibe he should have been rocking with. But when I met him, he just seemed like he had a lot going on. Maybe that was just that time. Like I said, we didn't kind of throw no numbers at each other, nothing like that. But I remember he mentioned just how much comedy meant to him. He was one of those situations like, I know how much comedy mean to me, and I know what's important. And that was in his set, you know, when he got up and started doing his thing, because he actually got on the stage. He was talking about it, not something he had said to me, but what he did when he got on the stage and then did his set. And I thought it was interesting that he acknowledged that prior to, you know, going through his whole ordeal of his show. And then I hear Dave Chappelle the other day talk about Cat Williams. And I think to myself, wow, Dave Chappelle is coming out for Hollywood and just saying that, you know, hey, what you're doing is fucked up, Cat. Dave Chappelle is saying that. And I'm thinking to myself, why did Dave Chappelle even get involved? What made Dave Chappelle feel compelled, try saying that twice, to just get involved in what he's got to say? What made him feel like he's the person to say that? You know, when the Cat was sitting down with Shannon Sharpe, he made it clear that for not himself, he would not even be there because these guys did not want him around. These guys did not rock with him, or these guys wasn't cool with him, or these guys was this, or these guys was that. He made it clear that these guys did not support him. And he explained that to people. And I don't understand why can't he have that conversation and let people know, you know, he was, you know, that was the relationship. And Dave Chappelle to say, hey, you know, Cedric is 70 years old, or this or that, it don't matter. None of that matter. None of it matter. What matter is the footprint you leave in life. That's what matters. Yeah. Do you leave them in the sand, or do you leave them on people's back? Because it's going to happen. It's going to be known. You're going to be known about how you move. And none of it matters. If you don't care, just say you don't care. But don't tell Cat Williams he's wrong for speaking on it. We're going to heaven doors.
Jumped up out the car, locked the door, left it running. Yeah. Lamborghinis back to back, you know how we coming. While you was in the bitch ear, I was in her stomach. Yeah, bitch the dumbest and the dumbest. Bitch. Fucked her and her best friend, I'm just being honest. Bitch. Ain't gonna do.
Yeah, Dolph, man. Dolph, man. His death has caused a lot of just a lot of pain in Memphis, man. A lot of people is dealing with Dolph in Memphis. What's up, buddy? What's up, buddy? What you need? What you need? What happened? You eat your food? You did? Why your breath stank like that?